Okay, so we're going to be talking about on page 43, absolute value equations. Okay, absolute value means that it is actually the positive distance from one to the other. Okay, so the absolute value of anything that's inside these lines. That means this A could be positive A or A could be negative A, and it's still going to be positive A. Always going to be positive. So when you're solving equations, if there's a absolute value sign, there actually could be two answers. And that's what we're doing here. So example 2.4a says absolute value of x equals 7. So in this situation, x can be positive or negative x. So there's actually two solutions. So anytime you see that absolute value sign, there are two solutions. The next one, B, on page 43, says x minus 7 equals 3. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say x minus 7 could be 3. Whatever's in that absolute value sign could be 3, or x minus 7 could be negative 3. Okay, so we're actually going to have two equations now to solve. I'm actually right over here. So then I'm going to solve each one. Add 7, x is equal to 10. Add, x is 3 and x is negative 3. So x equals, add 7, I get positive 4. So you see we have two answers. X can be 10 and x can be 4. That's how it is explained on page 43. Now we are turning the page. So the notes at the top of page 44 says, remember that the absolute value of any expression cannot be negative. When an absolute value expression is set equal to a negative number, there is no solution. Okay, so in this case, if you had an absolute value of x minus 4 equals negative 3, it's impossible. Because whatever you get on the inside of those absolute value signs is going to be positive. Any questions about that? All right, so now we have the list of the rules in the process. Isolating the absolute value expression. So that's the first thing you want to do. Like when we solved the equations before, we said isolate the x or isolate the variable. In this case, we're going to isolate the absolute value expression. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this. So it might not just be simply absolute value something equals something. It's going to be, it could be a whole equation, like this example, 2x plus 1 minus 3 equals 7. So we want to isolate this piece right here. So just pretend it's like an x, treat it like an x. Add 3 to each side. 2 times this equals 10. Now we divide everything by 2. Absolute value of x plus 1 equals 5. So now we have isolated the absolute value sign. Get that? So now I could say, well, x plus 1 can equal to 5, and x plus 1 can equal to negative 5. So I subtract 1 from each side, I get x equals 4. Subtract 1 from each side, I get x equals negative 6. So I get two answers. All right, so number 1, isolate the absolute value expression. Number 2, write two separate equations. Number 3, solve each separately. Number 4, check the solution. So 4, you go 2 times 5 is 10 minus 3 is 7. -6 plus 1 is -5. Absolute value is 5. 2 times 5 is 10 minus 3 is 7. So both of those work. There will be times where you get two solutions, but only one works. Or if your question is something that you need a positive number, sometimes you won't use the negative number in your answer, and that's it. Okay, so the distance problems. The distance between the numbers A and B is equal to B. So this is another just terminology type thing. On page 45, the distance between any two numbers on the number line can be found by simply subtracting them in either order and taking the absolute value, which is kind of what we do when I give you those signed number rules. We subtract, and I say subtract using the sign of the larger, but we're actually meaning the sign of the absolute value of the larger, because sometimes the larger is negative. And so anyway, the equation can be used to answer this. What numbers are a distance of 6 from the number 4? And this is how you would write it. So the number 10 is 6 units from 4, and the number -2 is 6 units from it. Okay, so that's it. That. So let's get started. Number 1, you should be able to figure that one out. 1 is what? What is it? 2 solutions. Yep. Right. Right. So we can have x is equal to +2 or -2. You can write it like that. Positive or -2. I'm going to do the odds right now. So number 3. Number would work there. 0. All right, number 5. So this one is you have the absolute value isolated. So now you just choose 2 equations. 2x equals 6. 2x equals -6. Divide by 2. X equals 3. X equals -3. Okay, so you can write that as positive and -3. Now we're going to do number 9. What are my 2 equations I'm going to write out for number 9?
You skipped 7.
Oh, 7. Okay, let's do 7. 7. Absolute value of -4x negative. So what am I going to write out for my 2 equations? -4x equals what? Positive 12. -4x equals -12. Those are my 2 equations. So -3. Yeah, -3, and then this one's going to be what? Positive. So again. Screen share thing. Okay. Number 9. Anybody? Number 9. Wanna try it? Writing these down. I want you to be writing these down just like I'm writing it on the board, okay? Do the steps. This is the first time we're doing it. You're gonna have to get used to algebra. You have to write things down. If we go over in class, you have to write down what I write on the board. That is required. Don't just sit there and go X equals and write the answers. I can just give you the answer book. We are learning a process, and I want you to write it out just for your own. You know, if everybody gets hundreds on all my quizzes, then I'll know I need to try a little harder to make it more difficult. Okay, everybody didn't get 100, so that means we have room to grow. So please work with me. My goal would be, hey, let's all get hundreds. If I teach everything and you do all the exercises, there's no reason why you guys can't get 100 on the quiz. Everything that was on that quiz is stuff we covered in class. And if you didn't get 100, that just means we need to practice more. That means don't just sit there. Be active. This is an active class. You're going to write. Okay, so we have 2 equations. We're doing number 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay, so it's a little jumbled up. Okay, so this is how I'm kind of, I want you to get used to, remember in one of the lessons it said line up the equal signs, okay? Order is important, okay? So we have absolute value of 2/3 x equals 4, okay? So that means you're going to set up 2 equations. You're going to say 2/3 x equals positive 4 and 2/3 x equals negative 4. You're going to have 2 sides. Like this thing to go somewhere else. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/2. 3/2. X equals 6. Okay, because you're going to cross those out. Multiply by 3/2. 3/2. And x equals negative 6. So what I want you to do is get used to writing 2 sides, because if you don't, when it gets harder, you're gonna have to redo this. It's kind of like the building blocks. We're starting with easy. When it gets hard, you got to know how to do it. You're not going to be able to, it's not always going to be plus and minus the same number. And if you don't have a method, sometimes you'll figure it out and sometimes you won't. It's not going to be tried and true. Believe me. I went through Algebra 2 with a girl the other day, and one thing that was good is she wrote really clearly. So then I could tell where we had a mistake. And you could start at the beginning of the page and your problem will go the entire page. And if you miss one negative sign, it throws everything off. So we're starting with kindergarten algebra. I know this is kind of easy, but you got to follow the steps. You think, oh, I defied the rule. I don't have to follow the steps. Well, it's not going to work as you go along. It'll work for today because the questions are easy. But when we get to the end of the year, you won't be able to fall back on just, doing jumping jacks in your head and coming up with the right answer. You got to have a method, okay? And every time you see absolute value signs, though, you should know there's two equations. All right, so that's number 9. 11. Number 11, x over 2 minus 3 equals, okay, 5. Excuse me. So you're going to write two equations. X minus 2 minus 3 equals positive 5. And x over 2 minus 3 equals negative 5. Okay, so you have two equations. Now, our absolute value sign is isolated, so you don't have to worry about that yet. So just do the work. X over 2 equals 5, so x equals 10. X over 2 equals, now you're adding 3 to both sides, but it's a negative 5, so it's negative 2. So what does x equal? Did I do that right? Yeah. What does x equal? Somebody tell me. No, over on this side. X over.
Oh, -4.
Right here, right. I multiply 2 by both sides, and I get x equals -4. I almost said 1. I almost said 2 over 2, but you got to remember you're multiplying both sides by 2. Okay, so in this case, you've got x equals 10 and -4.
Wouldn't it be 16 once you add 5?
Okay, well, I added on this side. Oh, you're right, actually. This one is incorrect. 5 plus 3 is 8. Good job. I don't know if you guys caught that. You just didn't mention it, but that is correct. Any other questions? Okay, so let's move along to number 13. I do not mind if you correct me because then I know you are actively participating. All right, what would be the first step we do here? Okay, good. So what's it going to be?
2x.
So absolute value of 2x. What's the next step? No, next step is you're going to write two equations. Positive 10 and 2x equals -10. So once you have the absolute value isolated, then you make your two equations. Don't divide yet, because it might end up with the wrong answer. So now we have x equals what? So in this case, we do have x equals positive or -5. All right, and we have number 15. 4x minus 11. Okay, who would like to do this one? Yes. Okay, so what's my next step?
Oh, you already wrote it. Wait, no.
Wrote it out. Yep. This is
Oh. Just take the 11 away.
No, you can't.
Oh, you
Okay,
do you turn it?
The absolute value, so we have to write out two equations.
Okay.
You can't add 4 yet, or add anything. 4x minus 11.
Okay.
Does that have no solution? 4x minus 11. Why did you put -4?
I didn't mean to. I just. So it's a 1. Okay. And then, how do you move it over?
What number are we on? This is 15. No, there is a solution. No, we're 15, 17. Which number are we doing?
We're doing number
15.
Okay, you are correct, actually. This is no solution because what? This is negative, so
Yeah.
nothing in here can give me a negative number. So that is correct. So that saves a little bit of time.
You look like you want to do next. No.
Okay, number 17.
Oh, this is.
Okay, so here we're getting into, so in order to erase this,
I already did it.
yeah, but you can also do this. At the bottom, there's a little trash can. Oh, there we go.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. And then you can clear everything. Okay.
Sure.
So now we're on number
17.
17. 2 absolute value x. 2. And then lines absolute value x. Minus 6 equals negative 4. All right, so that has a negative 4. So first, now this one is you're going to isolate the absolute value signs.
So. Wait, are you gonna add 6 to both sides?
Add 6, yes. Okay, so my homework for you guys is going to be to finish the odds on this page. 46 odds. 46 odds.
Wait.
So 1 through 33.
There it is. Oh.
Okay, so 1 to 33 odds. Okay, so then you divide by 2. Then absolute value of x, you get x equals positive 2, x equals, no. What does that turn out to be? 1. It can be 1. So x is positive 1 and x is negative 1. I don't know where you got. What's the 67?
Oh no, I didn't write that.
Oh, is that joke thing? I don't know it. I've only heard about it. I don't really